everyone wants 1,000 supporters, but I think we got it backwards. I think we're so focused on the numbers and the metrics, the followers, the subscribers, that we miss the gold coins all around us, looking for the bronze coins that's in our peripheral vision, in our distant line of vision. And all it takes is one supporter. All it takes is one loyal person to see your vision, to see your potential. Because a lot of times we overlook that. We think there's power in numbers, which there is, but you got to realize you have much more impact helping one person than 1,000 people running across your video and you're not helping one of them. Right? 1,000 views, even 100,000 views, is in vain. It's empty if you can't positively impact at least one person's life. Because when you impact somebody's person, I said when you impact somebody's person, when you impact somebody's life, that one person may impact somebody else. And that person that you impacted, they help somebody else. Now they're going to help somebody else. So to say the least, it's really a domino effect. And you don't know how many people you really helped, how many people you really transformed. You can't quite measure that. And that goes back to the video I made yesterday about basically non-measurable results. How you can't quite measure impact. You can't quite measure competence. You can't quite measure wisdom and power and authority, right? Of course, you can track days, you can track your workouts, you can track how many sales you're getting, you can track, the RPM on your videos and stuff like that, but certain things can't be measured, and just because they can't be measured doesn't mean they're any less important. And I think that's one measurement or one aspect that we completely miss just because we can't see it with numbers. Of course, you may see the 100,000 subscribers, but you may impact more than 100,000 people. The 100,000 people you impact, they each go impact 3 other people, right? So it's really a domino effect, and the main focus should be just serving at least one person, helping at least one person, because if you try to help 20, 30 at a time, you may be successful or you may not. But if you're just starting out, I believe helping one person that you truly love or that you truly care about is going to be a domino effect. And then you'll end up helping somebody else. And then somebody else will come along. Now they're starting to bring you other people, or other people know about you based on the transformation that you helped the other person achieve, basically. So I really think it comes down to either loving the person that you're serving or that you're trying to help or transform, or really hating the problem that they're facing. Or it could be both. And if it's both, I think that's a really strong combination. I think that's a really strong combination, because you may not like everybody you serve. If you ever worked at a restaurant, there's gonna be some assholes, bro. Like, there's gonna be some people that you serve, you may not like them, but you serve them anyway because you know they need something from you, basically. But if you love them and you hate the problem that they're going through, like let's say you love your grandmother, right? You want to help her and you hate the fact that, I don't know, let's just say she's hungry, right? You love her and you hate the fact that she's hungry. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna cook for her. You're gonna go get her a meal. You know what I'm saying? Something along that line to solve that problem. Just like any other problem. Now, will it always be a monetary reward? No. But sometimes the monetary reward is not the highest reward. I'll say that. Now, don't get me wrong, if you are doing sales and about your money, okay, I get it, but some things aren't transactional. Some relationships aren't transactional. So you got to get out of that mind state that you have to do everything for money, right? You just got to serve, and if money comes with it, of course, by all means, you want to be intentional. If you plan on serving and your end goal is to get compensated, that's just fine. But don't feel like every relationship built, every person you serve has to give you a monetary reward, because it might be something greater. But yeah, I think a lot of us got it backwards, just so focused on the numbers. Like, log out of Instagram, log out of Snapchat, log out of Twitter, log out of TikTok, and figure out who you serving in real life. Because even when you go to job, technically you're serving at your job. You have some type of contribution at your job, at your 9-to-5 job, right? And if you don't have a 9-to-5 job, let's just say you are a up-and-coming entrepreneur, you're still serving, right? Just at a smaller scale. But once you put all the distractions to the side, you gotta ask, like, why am I put on this earth? What am I put on this earth to do? And I believe it's please God, serve people. Not please people and serve God. Of course, you're gonna serve and please God, but at the end of the day, it's to serve people. You don't necessarily have to please anybody, but you do have to serve, because that's the only way we get compensated. That's the only way we feel connection and contribution, right? So just think about that. But that was really just my perspective for today, and I realized, like, there's so many opportunities out here to serve. You just gotta be willing to put yourself to the side. Of course, you gotta, you can't pour from an empty cup, but definitely understand that the well won't run dry if your source is God. You know what I'm saying? Like, your well won't run dry. It may be times where, you get a little low, but you'll never run dry. So don't be afraid to help at least one person out, because it is a domino effect. You got to realize everybody knows somebody, and all you got to do is help one person, and your momentum is taking off. And then once you help that person transform, they're gonna help somebody else transform, and it's gonna keep going. And that's where the real impact is made. That's something that money alone can't purchase. That's something money alone can't buy. And that's why some people may be envious of you. That's why some people may get envious down the road, because money can't buy them respect. Money can't buy them wisdom or happiness, or even the vision that you hold in your mind. So just go out and serve one person, bro. Serve one person. Find out who that person is in your life, because I guarantee it's at least one person in your life, whether that's a family member, somebody at the gym that you randomly ran across, somebody at your job. It's somebody out here, bro, that you can serve. But you got to understand what they need in order for them to feel served, because you can't just serve them anything because you think they should have it. You never go to a restaurant and the whole time you wanted chicken fajitas, but they come out with sushi. Like, yeah, you serving them, but you're not serving what they want. You know what I'm saying? You're not helping them in the way they want to be helped, rather than trying to force feed them. That's the only way it's gonna work. But you have to understand them. You have to have a conversation with them. You have to be an active listener and care deeply in order to come up with a solution that is tailor-made for them. And they want to know it works. That's all they want to know is, does it work? They don't need to know all the pieces. You don't have to make it overly complicated, but just understand them, figure out what their problem is, create a solution, a tailor-made solution for them, and just offer it to them, whether it's for free, whether that's for $100, $500, $2,000, whatever that number is. But at the end of the day, you gotta realize, like, it's okay to be compensated. That doesn't make you a bad person. Everybody has to be compensated, because if they cared about you, they would give you that compensation. If you cared about them, you would give them the result. So I invite you, whoever's watching, find one person to serve today, not tomorrow, today. If you're watching this and you're about to lay down or you're about to go to sleep, okay, cool. When you wake up, if the Lord is willing, find that one person to serve, bro, because I feel like that will be the answer to most of your problems. You'll realize that you yourself have to go through a transformation phase. You yourself have to dive deep and understand who you are, so you can help people understand who they are and where they need to go. Don't overcomplicate it. Just one person at a time. Just focus on literally one person, because even if you help one person, there's principles within helping one person, right? You have microcosm principles. You have principles that apply to all areas of life and all people, like human nature, right? So lean into it, embrace it. You know, it may be a progressive overload of information or things that you have to implement, but lean into it, because that's the only way it's gonna work. Put your ego to the side, put your pride to the side, and just serve. And don't serve out of obligation. Serve out of relation. Do it out of relation, not obligation. Do it out of relation, not obligation. Boy Cameron Mitchell is out.